What is up, what is up, what is up, everybody? How's it going, how's it going, how's it going? Can we just say it's a really sad night for Jet Lawrence, or was a sad night yesterday with all of his crashes. So, yeah, that's bad. We're going to get into it, but obviously we're into round 5, or Indy 2, and the 250, they're just getting decimated. I mean, you've got Hampshire out, you've got Faulkner out, now you've got Jet Lawrence who got injured in this, with his crash in practice, and then his crash in the heat race. Then he came back to win the LCQ, which obviously somebody of, factory ride should obviously just come and win the LCQ, but that's not here nor there. And then just decided he couldn't race, which is, probably for the better port. Sad to see him not race, but also it's probably better to have him not injure his shoulder worse than he already did, probably. And on that whole thing, there was also the whole, bike controversy of Oldenburg, who if you didn't see the heat race, his rear tire locked up and they had to bring it back and they swapped the engine out, but apparently somebody thought he changed his bike frame, which would mean you couldn't race, but apparently it was just his motor, and a whole bunch of weird things happened, and he ended up racing the main, which I don't understand that rule because he didn't start the LCQ, so in my mind it should have been the guy who finished 5th getting the bump up, not the guy who didn't start the race. Well, that's just me. Whatever. But obviously, the 250 East, at least, they're just getting demolished with injuries, and it's really down to just Nichols, Mosiman, and Craig. That's what it is. And not too much really happened in this race at all. Mosiman got passed because Miller, I think his name was Miller, crashed in the rhythm section in front of him, so he had to stop and go around the bike and the person, so Nichols passed him, and then Craig passed Mosiman, and it went 1-2-3. Otherwise, Shimoda came back from a first corner crash, and he ended up, I think, 4th or 5th. But otherwise, the 250s are the 250s. Nichols won, so his points lead is extended. Craig passed Mosiman at the end to come 2nd, I want to say. I believe that's right. I think let me just skip through the highlights. Yeah, he did. He passed Mosiman to come in 3rd, or 2nd. Mosiman was 3rd, and Shimoda was 4th, and after that, they're lapping into the top 5, 6, this year is just crazy. With the problem with the flaggers and people not dealing with the flags or not knowing how to deal with lappers and downed riders and everything. Crazy year for that, but also just how ridiculously fast the 3 or 4 top guys are going. I mean, you look at 3 minutes left in the race, you had Nichols, Craig and Mosiman in 5 seconds of each other, and then Shimoda was 34 seconds back. That's it. I mean, good job for Shimoda for coming back and passing everyone and coming in 4th, but, he's still so far back from everyone else, and the speed is just ridiculous. So, the East is going to be Craig or Nichols at this point. Mosiman's up there too, but I think he's 3rd in points, and he's just coming 3rd to the people who were 2nd and 1st in points in front of you. Obviously, doesn't do very good for your points, but, so yeah, Nichols, Craig, Mosiman, that's what it was. The 450 race, on the other hand, was quite exciting. I'm assuming most of you watched it, but really, really good job for Ken Roczen. We're just going to get that out of the way. He just blew everyone out of the competition. He got out front, he blasted away, and he won. There was no competition there. He was 10, 11 seconds ahead by the end of the race, just his own world, his own track, perfectly fine. You had Barsha with a good start. Finally, again, seeing Cirillo right up there too. Plessinger, Tomac in the beginning. Let's see here. Webb was 8th to start. Musquin started 17th, and he came up to top 10. Ferrandis had a really bad night. I think he ended up 14th or 15th. He never even factored into this race, which is surprising considering how good he's been doing. But you had, classic Eli Tomac in this race. He came back from 8th or 9th, whatever it was, and he came barreling through that field. I mean, you think he had to pass Stewart, Plessinger, Cirillo, and he was dealing with Webb to start, so he pulled way away from him. Good job for that. Then you had, I think, for a good 10 minutes, I want to say, you had Barsha and Tomac racing. Eli Tomac trying to pass him. He was closer in some places. He was farther back in other. Like, you could obviously tell there was definite parts of the track that both of them were faster there than the other. There was not like one of those. They're pretty much even in everything. And as I'm watching it, Ken Roczen ran into a lapper because they just didn't know what was going on. This year's just getting crazy. I mean, I understand that the factory guys should be that much faster than everyone else, but like, it's bad when you're trying to pass people, lap people, and they're just left, right, center. Nobody knows what's going on. The flaggers are nowhere to be found. It's hilarious. But anyways, it is. You had Barsha get a good start. Tomac caught him, and when you see Tomac like that, he made up 20-30 seconds at the beginning of the race to catch up to Barsha, and I was like, oh, here you go. He's gonna rocket right past him and be perfectly fine. But no, Barsha held him off for a good 8 minutes, 9 minutes, something like that. Obviously he made some mistakes, but Tomac just couldn't capitalize, couldn't get around him, and really good job for Barsha. I mean, that's the ride you need. Obviously, he needs to be ahead of Ken Roczen to make the points different up, but like, he's not. That's the race you need. You need to be challenged, come back from the challenge, and hold your position, and not lose any more points than you possibly can to the leader. Obviously, you want to beat him, but second is the best possibility you can have for that. And good job for Webb too. I thought he was pretty well stuck at like 7th, 8th for most of the race, and right towards the end of the race, he found a lot of speed. I don't know what it was, but I think he ended up like 4th. I mean, he passed Cianciarulo, Stewart, and then he got Plessinger right at the end of the race, which good job for him. I mean, that's to come back, to spend the whole race in like middle of the pack, 8th, 9th, whatever, and find that last bit of energy to pass everyone, come back 4th. Like, again, it's not a win. It's not gaining points on the people in front of you, but it's still, that's the kind of race that you need to finish with. Like, you can't finish in 8th, 9th. You need to finish on a bad night in the top 5. So, good job for him for coming back. Where are we? That was Tuesday, so Saturday, another Indy. That'll be the Indy 3, round 6, the last one in Indianapolis, and I'm really excited. I'm glad the 450 this year. I mean, yes, you have Sexton out, and Dean Wilson didn't race, and Anderson dislocated his finger, so you had 3 people out, but you still have Roczen, Barsha, Tomac, Webb in your top 4. Obviously the guys who you think are going to be your contenders are right where they should be up front. Muscan 11th, like, he's not going to factor into this year at all. Cianciarulo 6th, so like, not a bad ride, but still not where he needs to be fighting for a championship. But good job for Ken Roczen for win number 2 in a row, extending his points lead, and I'll see you next time. Remember to like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.